Hello, this is pro-male vendetta. Men have less rights than women. Men are legally and socially disadvantaged compared to women. There is a feminist hate movement that is mainstream and attacking men in the open. A large minority of women support feminism openly. Also, the women who do not support feminism directly enable it and do nothing to fight back against it. Also, many right-wing women are misandrists and hate men just as much as radical feminists. This begs the question, are women the class enemy of men? This is a question that will trigger women worshippers, and make them spaz out and accuse radical pro-male men of just being like the feminists. Fake men's rights activists just want to repair relationships between men and women. Real men's rights activists want their human rights, and to be respected. Anyway, I found a meme about conscription in Switzerland. Let me show it to you.
Male privilege. In Switzerland, military service, conscription, is compulsory for all Swiss men, but not women. If a man is not fit for military service, he is required to pay 3% extra tax until the age of 30. This is known as the military exemption tax. Naturally, women are exempt from paying this tax. In the year 2014, the Swiss voted on whether or not to keep conscription for men. This means women were able to vote on whether or not military service is compulsory for men, despite not having to participate in conscription themselves. The majority of women voted to keep conscription compulsory for men.
So women in Switzerland voted to keep men enslaved. This is a hostile, malicious action against Swiss men by Swiss women. The women who voted to keep conscription for men did it out of spite, just so they could keep their privileges. Also, what is a nasty thing is to tax men who are exempt from military service. This is just pure spite, as it is not someone's fault if they are exempt from military service. This stems from male hyperagency, always holding men at fall, no matter what. This tax is just punishment for the younger generation of men. Anyway, here is a clip from a video about females trying to sue the government over taxing female sanitary products.
So this is a class action lawsuit brought to end the tampon tax here in New York State. And it was filed in New York Supreme Court, right here in New York City. And the arguments in the case are really twofold. New York, like 40 other states in the country, charges a tax on tampons and sanitary pads. And the goal of the case is to end that, because that is discriminatory against women who have to buy these products every month. And the two arguments we make in the case are, one, that under New York law, these products should be treated as tax-exempt medical necessities. New York law already exempts a whole long list of medical necessities. Everything from bandages and gauze to Rogaine, dandruff shampoo, and chapstick. And the second argument is that this is really a violation of the Equal Protection Clause of both the New York State Constitution and the federal Constitution, because it's a tax on women for being women. And there's no question in my mind, I think in anyone's mind, that if men had to use these products every month, they would already be tax exempt.
Women will fight for the right not to pay taxes on their sanitary products. Women already pay far less tax than men, but will fight for the right to pay even less tax. They will fight for this right before fighting against circumcision or the draft for men. It is clear the average woman does not care about men, and men as a group are on their own when it comes to fighting for their rights. So, are women a class enemy of men? I will be bold enough to answer the question, and not just imply the answer. Yes, women are the class enemy of men. The gender roles the typical women tries to enforce onto men are harmful to men. Men have pandered, sacrificed and died for women throughout history. Soon as it became safe for women to bail on their male workhorse provider slaves, the feminist movement then ramped up the aggression against the male sex, fighting to take rights away from men and fighting for even more privilege at the cost of men. Women will only stop being the class enemy of men when they stop fighting against our human rights. It is that simple. We are not going to get women to treat men nicely by begging them to do so. We have to be radical and fight for our freedom.